my nose. Unless they've switched engines or something.
They said they changed the thing.
Yeah, there it is. No, that's great. This is scheduled breaker. That alive, the other one.
Okay. out here this morning to welcome the last train on 5th Street. We've been waiting for this day for a long, long time, and I'm really quite amazed and astounded by the number of people that have taken their time to come down this morning to witness all of this. We have a gentleman that's going to portray an individual by the name of Albert White. Albert White was the president of the New Albany and Salem Railroad, the first railroad to run along 5th Street. There have been railroad tracks on 5th Street for over 140 years. And I'd like to call upon Albert White, a United States Senator, an educator, a judge, and have him come forward to explain a little bit why he brought the railroads to Lafayette. Albert?
My name is Albert White. Just like the mayor said here, I was president of two of the railroads here in Lafayette, and I'd like to thank all of you people from Lafayette for showing up here. Through my time in Lafayette passed long ago, it does my soul great good to see that so many of the principles I held dear 150 years ago have proven their value over time. When I came to the Star City of Lafayette, in 1829, the town was a mere youngster, growing like a big-footed adolescence because of the commerce brought by the canal. I advocated heartily for the railroad, however, not because I didn't see the value of the canal system, but because I saw that commerce brought the opportunities to the people, and I knew that railroads would one day surpass our canals in opportunities for commerce. I knew if railroads bypassed our town, so too would many opportunities. I worked heartily to bring trains right down to this very street. I wrote columns in the newspaper, and I spoke at public gatherings. And I urge you today to remember the influence you can have in similar forums. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Well, there have been many people that have helped through the progress of railroad relocation, and there have been many other companies on these tracks through the years. The one that's running here now is the CSX, which is the successor of the Monon Railroad and then the L&N Railroad, and now the CSX transportation system. And we have several vice presidents of the CSX Corporation that are here today. I'd like to call upon Mr. Ken Beckham, Vice President of CSX, to say a few words. Ken?
Thank you very much. That's a good promotion because I'm not Vice President. Chief Engineer of CSX. I said that was a nice promotion. I'm not a Vice President of CSX. I'm Chief Engineer, but I appreciate it anyhow. This project has probably outlasted most of the CSX people for some reason. In fact, I'm fairly new on the project. I've been associated less than a year. Certainly the mayor knows immensely more about it than I do, and most of you people probably do. But I'm here today very proudly to represent, first of all, myself, second, CSX Transportation, especially CSX Transportation Engineering, which is headed by my boss, Tom Smith, a good Purdue graduate. And he sends his condolences that he could not be here. He tried every way, and he got out of it by going overseas, so he will not be here today. Again, not knowing much about the project, I glanced at the file we have in Jacksonville. We call it room 1014. And briefly, it seems like it started almost 20 years ago when the mayor faced someone down with the railroad and said, "Get out of town." We acted promptly, as we always do. We tried changing our name 2 or 3 times, but he caught up with that. We moved our headquarters 2 or 3 times, didn't get away. We even repainted our engines 2 or 3 times. And after all that failed, we decided the best thing to do is maybe get out of town. So that's what we're here to do today, and I'm very glad to be a part of the ceremony.
Well, the next gentleman from CSX, representing CSX, is retired vice president, and he is a person who was assigned the Lafayette Railroad relocation project quite a few years ago. And he's been very helpful in the city of Lafayette as we've moved it on. So I'd like to have the citizens welcome Crane Jones, who've come a long way to be with us this morning. Crane? The train is about ready to depart, so take a last look at the train on 5th Street. Train on the CSX track is Pat Murphy, and the fireman is Billy Bridges. So we should momentarily wave them goodbye on 5th Street.
Beckham mentioned is the project has outlived the people of CSX. I'm one of those that's almost outlived, but I'm determined to be with him till he completes the project. I appreciate very much his kind invitation for me to be here, and I sure compliment Jim on his leadership, Liz Solberg, who's the project manager, all of the supporters, all of the participants, and all the citizens of Lafayette who have put up with us blocking traffic for 150 years. Now it's all yours again. I think that the perseverance and the dedication that your mayor has had to this project has been very exceptional, as I have observed it in comparison to many other cities that have some of the same problems. And I told him the other night that I had used Lafayette many times as an example of how to do a job. And you have done a great job, and I compliment each and every one of you for it. So in closing, I would like to say to Jim that I think you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not the headlight of another train.
Thank you, Crane. As we move the project forward, ones that we worked very closely with, of course, was the Indiana Department of Transportation. And here, representing the Indiana Department of Transportation, Assistant Commissioner for Intermodal Transportation and Planning, Kathy Davis. Kathy?
Thank you, Mayor. I joined the Department of Transportation 5 years ago, and one of my very first responsibilities was to sit down with the mayor and with Liz Solberg to negotiate the cost sharing on the new 26 bridge. And they were extremely well prepared and extremely gracious and appreciative of all that we were doing, and I think they got everything that they wanted. And since that time, this group, your group, has completed 3 additional segments of this project. And in my business, that's very fast. Things don't usually happen quite so quickly in major transportation projects. But I think that's because it's a great project. It improves the rail system, it improves traffic congestion and traffic flow in Lafayette and West Lafayette. It makes life better for all of us who drive through this community, and it's had absolutely wonderful leadership. I just can't say enough for the mayor and Liz Solberg and how well they have managed the project, brought people together, and gotten a tremendous amount of money. So about $100 million later and 3 segments completed, at least since I've been involved, I want to congratulate all of you, and I add my congratulations to those of Commissioner Fred Papoul and Lieutenant Governor Frank O'Bannon and Governor Evan Bayh, Mayor Liz, the communities of Lafayette and West Lafayette. Congratulations on a remarkable achievement.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Another gentleman from the Indiana Department of Transportation we work very closely with is the Chief Financial Officer. As you know, we have to get the money to do this, and working with Dennis Falkenberg, it really has been a pleasure. He's guided us in our endeavors, and I'd like for you to welcome Dennis Falkenberg.
Thank you, Mayor Reilly. Congratulations to Lafayette and the entire area here today for just a terrific achievement. I'm real pleased to be here to help represent the Indiana Department of Transportation today in this wonderful celebration. As Chief Financial Officer of the department, we sure have had occasion to come together a few times, but just as Kathy Davis told you a minute ago, it's always been a wonderful relationship, challenging at times, but with you and your staff, it's just been a pleasure. And with the wonderful spirit of cooperation that we've seen on this project from both the federal government, state government, and the communities of Lafayette and West Lafayette, it has just made it all come together and work beautifully. And I congratulate you all today for this wonderful achievement.
Well, Dennis mentioned the good support that we've had from our congressional delegation. John Meyer was unable to be with us this morning. He's been here on most other occasions such as this. But we do have representing Senator Lugar and Coates, Lane Ralph. Lane, would you like to?
Thanks, Mayor. Over the years, we know in Senator Lugar and Coates' office, John Myers has been a real key to assistance being on that Appropriations Committee. It's been important for us. But I want to bring congratulations on behalf of Senator Lugar and Coates. Congratulations to you as the mayor, the residents of Lafayette. This is a multifaceted project that has many benefits for the community. Safety is one of them. Anybody who's sit on 5th Street while the trains come along knows that. This is important. It's beneficial. You're moving ahead and continuing, and we want to continue to help you get there. Thank you.
Thank you, Lane. Also from the Indiana Department of Transportation, who has helped us, Frank Switzer, who is the director of the Crawfordsville District. Frank? The Board of Public Works and Safety and the City Council have played an important role, as you know, in moving the project forward. And there are many of them here. I'd like for you to raise your hands and be recognized. Mayor Margarine, Senator Gary, Sheila Clinker are here. There are two hardworking individuals who've met every Amtrak train since it's been coming through here, Bob Priest and Fred Sanders. Bob, Fred, are you here somewhere? There they are. Over there. But there are a lot of people to thank as we stand here today and finally achieving railroad relocation. And most importantly is all of you, the citizens of Lafayette, who supported the project through the years. One of the things that we tell the people in Indianapolis and the senators and congressmen and the federal transportation in Washington is the community support that we have for this project. And I'm sure they are impressed, as I am, of the turnout that we've had here this morning. We have an occasion this evening that I want all of you to come to. That will be the first train. That will be, we hope, around 8:30 this evening. It will be down in the railroad of the old Big Four Depot. It will be just past that. There's a nice paved surface down there leading down to the platform in the new corridor. So we want to invite all of you to come to see that. and to witness and participate in the first train in the new corridor. And when that happens, we will have achieved railroad relocation in Lafayette. Let me thank, too, the country colonels who provided the music for us. Liz Solberg and Katie and the staff of Railroad Relocation who put in some long hours these last couple of weeks making all the arrangements. Liz. Former director Ken Knevel is here with us, too. Ken? Dan Fogarty was unable to be here. He's a former director, and Ken Schutte was unable to be here, too. But they'll join us for another occasion sometime. But again, I want to invite all of you to come down this evening around 8:30 to participate in the first train. I think we could probably still get on the train to Rensselaer if you can get up there and get on the train. But if not, we'd be pleased to see you down there to welcome the first train in the new corridor. Thank you very much.
Terry's a little boy with him. Yeah, was it?
Sounds like a water tower.
Guys, I'll catch you later.